Hey everybody, christopherodd here. Welcome to a new game called The Sinking City. This is coming out in a couple days on June 27th. And if you haven't heard about this, it's like a detective style game where you're going to be solving cases, talking to people to fit clues together and such. There is some combat as well, as per my understanding. Its cool thing is this is set in a world that's heavily influenced by H.P. Lovecraft. So there's going to be a whole bunch of weird characters, weird settings, weird everything. And I kind of like that. So we're playing as this investigator. This is set around the 1920s in this flooded city, as you can probably figure out. And we need to infiltrate some type of secretive society and just put all these cases together. So it should be rather unique. Anyways, if you're new here, I'm going to make one recommendation. That's just to set the vibe. If you don't know what that means, lights off, headphones on, volume up. Let's just get right into it. Have a good time. Here we go. Seems like we've got some of our own problems to sort through. So they've already given us a first aid kit and a brick. What more could we ask for, really? Maybe this gun?
Hope I never have to use it, but something tells me I will.
This is the suitcase where he slammed that mirror out of. Letter from J. Vanderberg. I think this is the thing that was popping up after the main menu there. Dear Mr. Charles Reed, as you requested, I've researched the outbursts of hysteria and visions in the city of Oakmont, Mass. Turns out that your assumptions were correct. Such cases are indeed more frequent here. Men and women from across the country are drawn to Oakmont, haunted by visions similar to yours, a city drowning, the presence of something great yet unknown. As luck has it, I believe we have stumbled upon the source of your ailment and the person who might help you with it. Prepare yourself and come to Oakmont as soon as you can. I'll meet you here to help you on your way. Cordially, Johannes Vanderberg. Okay. Casebook. Press for more information. Your casebook contains your main case, which reflects your overall story progress. You can work on more than one side case at the same time. Cases contain information about investigations in the form of evidence, exclamation key or letters. Some pieces of evidence have icons that hint at what action to perform. So dialogue, using an item, take a photo, search archives, or search location. All right. New case, Frosty Welcome. Thank you. Folding camera. Key evidence collected. I'm guessing this is telling us we should be using... Oh, nice. First try. Okay, okay. Photo of a trophy plate.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Oakmont Monolith National Park. All evidence collected. All right. In case you guys are wondering, I'm playing on the PC, but I'm using a controller.
Now get out.
All right. Thanks.
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service.
The guy who wrote the letter.
I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
Nice suit you got there.
That's an eye-catching suit.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. A mere flood is no excuse for one to abandon one's style.
I respect that.
I take it you're a big fan of yellow.
Well, I have a particular weakness for it. Call it a personal quirk.
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
Okay, well, where is he?
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Okay. What about places to stay?
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
The Devil's Reef Hotel. How do I get there?
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Nice. What else did you mark?
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper. Places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular. Its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
We can do that. And what do you do here exactly?
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
Oh, that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds you.
Okay. So he's sketch. All right. The map. Street names and districts are shown on the map from the beginning. Most other landmarks and points of interest have to be discovered. Institutions with archives is that, looks like a law enforcement symbol. Landmarks, fast travel points, destinations are activated when you access the phone booths. Investigation scenes is the white magnifying glass. Icon appears when location is discovered. Color of the icon changes according to investigation progress. Icons removed if the case is complete. Yellow, investigation scenes, key evidence collected. If it's green, all evidence collected. All right, cool. You can use A to place marks on the map, use this to plan your route or note places of interest. The beaker is evidence. Marks are shown for the currently selected case only. Select another case in the casebook to see and place relevant evidence marks. And then the skull's generic red marks are always shown regardless of the case. Alright.
We'll meet again, Mr. Reed.
I presume we will. Oh, look at this. Welcome to Oakmont, a town on the rise. Yep. I can see that. Clear water? What is he doing? Is he worshipping or is he... Under the keel bar.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is final.
I'm gonna guess.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
That's cool. Very cool. This is the guy that he was telling us about. What happened to your son?
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers. Mark my words.
Innsmouthers. Who are the Innsmouthers?
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damned city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells. They are everywhere.
So they're just refugees.
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
And he's humble, too. Wow. Let's hold off on his features, maybe. What do you know about the visions?
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
All right, well, we'll try to find Albert for you.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera. You have a point, newcomer.
Yeah, what's Vera?
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider.
Huh.
That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend.
So what's it mean?
Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you.
Vera, thank you. All right. Okay, so tell me more about the case so far.
I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Tane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to their house and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
Okay, so Fisherman's house?
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. Was standing right in front of it.
I'm being thorough, okay? And the lifeboat?
You mentioned a lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
All right, then.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
He's cocky. Kind of like it. Evidence. Okay, evidence contains crucial information about what to do and where to go next. To get evidence, interact with objects and people, combine clues in your mind palace, and take photos. A white frame in the camera viewfinder indicates if you are aiming correctly. Oh, okay. Read evidence closely to identify important locations, then pin it on the map to plan your route. Pin evidence on the HUD to keep track of your current goal. Up to toggle on and off. Up and R, hold to switch pinned evidence with. You can also place evidence on the map and HUD from the casebook screen. Select evidence and use X for pin evidence or Y to place on the map. All right.
I gave you clear instructions,
Yep,
did I not?
Yep, you did. Thank you, sir. All right, so what do we have going on in here? We've got lore, city, photo of a trophy plate with a strange fish. Looks very lifelike. Here's our case book. Main case is Frosty Welcome. This is the key to the Devil's Reef Hotel. Johannes Vanderberg said I need to find a person in the Oakmont port by the name of Robert Throgmorton, which we've quite clearly just done. This is the letter from the beginning, and Robert's request wants us to find his son Albert, who went missing in the port after returning from an expedition to the sea. He was found barely conscious by a fisherman on the shore who brought him to his house. The fisherman says that Albert was mentally afflicted and acted aggressively before disappearing. Robert arrived to investigate and is now standing in front of the house in question. Until he's found, Robert won't allow me to leave the port, and he won't help me. And then, oh, I see. I can, like, go and highlight it to remove it. And then the Mind Palace. Throgmorton Innsmouther feud. So the Throgmortons are, like, these well-off, let's say, higher class people in this area. And then the Innsmouthers are kind of like the refugees, or the way that they view it is kind of like lower class people. And they're in this ongoing feud. Albert returned unstable, so Albert Throgmorton behaved strangely after returning from the sea. He was mad, violent, and spoke gibberish. We can select these. Oh, I guess we're trying to like pair things up, but these obviously have nothing to do with each other. Then we have deductions. So we combine clues correctly to make deductions. Cool, cool, cool. Okay.
I've said everything I know.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer, and keep your hands where I can see them.
Now, he said that we face the house and go left, I think, to find the boat. I might have to go down. We'll start there with the source of where he came from, I guess. Likely down there, I suppose. Now, as far as I can tell, There's... Okay, so the ship that we started on, all evidence collected. Gotcha. And I guess it doesn't even show us where to go, so we're gonna have to really pay attention. And here's the police line. There, and it's marked when we get close. Titania lifeboat.
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania?
That's not a reference that I get.
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
Well, there's another reference to them taking jobs.
You like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
All right. Albert Throgmorton's will. I hope someone finds this. My name is Albert Throgmorton, and this is my will. I want to warn you, don't go to the depths below Oakmont. There's unreadable. We should have never done that. Everything should have remained in that cave. Professor Unreadable, I fear what will become of me. It's singing in my brain, dancing on my eyelids every time I close my eyes. Unreadable. The cycle goes on and on and on and on and on. In the end, it comes. I must warn everyone. I must tell my father, Unreadable, he's here. Whoa, what? Don't go to the depths. Everything should have remained in that cave. And then if there's a professor involved...
Something with this helmet gives me chills.
Whoa.
What's wrong with it?
What the? All evidence collected. So this...
Something with this helmet.
When I click on
gives
that...
me chills.
See the bar in the bottom left dropping? Trippy. Alright. Now I guess we'll investigate the house. What's the marking for?
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
As a dog owner, I can relate. We have to hold this. Shell casing and gunpowder. Looks like there might be some type of crafting system involved. Man, like, is this normal for this place?
The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for.
Okay. There's a lot of cool little details.
Let's see what you find, newcomer. Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Whoa, what the?
It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this.
Got blood here. Is that guy's dead?
There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee.
Out there? Oh, it's not a huge drop.
Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
What's going on with you here?
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis, we were here. This is our house. Barry was outside on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay, my head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing, just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me.
That sounds familiar.
Is that what we have going on then?
Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was at or starve.
And where did everybody else go?
Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. Kay be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
And, okay, what happened to Paul here?
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. Kay, have mercy on his soul.
Yeah, who's Kay? Is like a...
Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outsiders, show some respect. Kay is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, I didn't know.
Okay.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or, Kay, did I kill him?
Okay, so he does...
Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
Whoa.
My head. I still hear those voices.
I'm afraid of what I might dream. Okay, so he's like blacking out and he's not sure what he's even doing. Documents, this is the will that we picked up. Will Hammond's testimony. Robert's request. I guess, okay, so if we want to pin this. Now remember, if we... So that's got that little, looks like a location icon. So search location, right? So that's the hint for us to know what we need to do in certain situations. Now, if I pin this, if I place on the map, I can like, I guess I can put this wherever. Okay, cool. Let's delete it. And the other option is if I pin it, then it pins it on the screen. Okay. Okay. Now, what about this mine palace? So we know there's this feud going on. There's a fisherman missing. There were 3 fishermen in the house when Albert woke up, but I've only found 2 of them. Sudden psychotic outbreak. The fisherman suffered a sudden psychotic outbreak after Albert Throgmorton gained consciousness. Albert returned here. Behaved strangely after returning from the sea. He was mad, violent, and spoke gibberish. Now, could these be connected? Yes. Albert spread hysteria around him. Spread some sort of psychic influence which made everyone nearby suffer hysteria. Okay. Interesting. All right.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
What the hell is that? Oh, this is gonna be so trippy.
Choo choo.
We're a real jokester. Alcohol. Moonshine, maybe, could explain some things we're seeing here. Dude, he's like losing it.
Five cards short of a full house. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here.
Who are these lovely folks?
So that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he said, like, fish something? Fish heads or fish people or something?
Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much.
Yeah, plenty of alcohol.
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work.
It's cool, the details on the, like the shaft. Looks like, fish scales. Mind's Eye. Press to activate. Press for more information. Hold on. Mind's Eye allows you to see the unseen. Use Mind's Eye whenever you see distortion in the corners of the screen and hear a ringing sound. It may reveal images of the past, illusions, omens, or tracks that are otherwise invisible. Images of the past have an activation zone. See above. Hold A to see the full picture. Use the Mind's Eye. Whoa. So you can see, okay, hold up. So you see it's very subtle. The edges of the screen. Whoa, is this... Okay. I'm gonna need a translation of that, please. Well, what the frick? Retrocognition. Retrocognition allows you to understand events that happened in the past, inspect enough evidence on the scene, and a vision will emerge. Step into it and find all the critical scenes. Mark the scenes in chronological order to gain new evidence. Okay. Now everything is like super trippy. I guess this is what we're going into? Yup.
Take this, ape face.
Take this, ape face. So that would be him attacking the sun.
Yeah, run!
He's got I would say a smoking gun, but everything is smoking. So he's using, what is he holding? Like a barrel above his head to attack him? I don't know if that's... because that's the gun guy as well.
What's happening?
Okay, let's see what we have here.
Oh, okay, I'm just placing a number.
What's happening?
So he starts to freak out. He runs out here. Oh, I see.
Take this, ape face.
Okay, so we're this is where we're sorting the order.
Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
Whoa. New clues, experience, house brawl, mind palace. Investigation of the main case reveals clues for your mind palace. Press to open the casebook, then switch to mind palace. Combine pairs of relevant clues to get evidence, crucial information of the case. It's added to the casebook. Deductions. These explain nuances of the case. They're displayed in the mind palace. Some deductions can be interpreted differently. This can lead to different conclusions. Discover all possible conclusions to fully understand the case, but it's up to you how to solve it. Oh, okay. Okay. House brawl. So, a fisherman brought unconscious Albert Throgmorton to his house and left. When Albert woke up, he caused an outburst of hysteria and attacked the rest of the fishermen. One of the fishermen shot him, and Albert fled through a hole in the wall. Now, here's the thing. That retrocognition, I have to assume that that's something that we have, and that's real. When we see that, that's what really happened, right? I think so. Albert fled when wounded. Albert attacked the fisherman. Lewis shot without warning. When Albert became aggressive, Lewis and Innsmouthers fishermen immediately started shooting at him. One fisherman is missing. There were 3 fishermen in the house when he woke up, but I've only found 2 of them. Albert returned unstable. So if we say Albert returned unstable and he fled when wounded, or he attacked the fisherman. Yeah. So he was dangerous and posed a threat to Lewis Flynn and his fellow fishermen. Okay. Lewis shot without warning, and Albert fled when wounded. No. Okay. All evidence collected here. Now I wonder... So what's weird about this is, like, it looks like we're kind of peering into another, you know, dimension. And this is what got us access to see those other things. But when we just look around generally here, it doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot. Okay, so it really... Okay, so it wants us to go into the Mind Palace. So there must be more here. Okay, I can track down Albert. Albert and the fisherman named Lewis fled the scene after the fight in the house. I can track them using my supernatural sense. Okay, so they both... Okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. Follow the omens. I can track down Albert. Mind's Eye can reveal omens that guide your way. Follow them to find new evidence. So we're not going to be, like, totally in the dark. Oh, whoa, sick. They're literally like, go this way. So this is the guy.
I've said everything I know.
Yeah, this is the other guy that was with them. Whoa, dudes. What is this marking? Oh, look, that's like, it's like enhanced. All right. So this also...
So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots.
Okay, so this is obviously pretty important then that we use this. More than just if the... Okay, so they're going this way. More than just if the screen is kind of pointing it out to us.
Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
Yeah. And like the bookshelf that was knocked over, it was probably him. Because we made a comment about the strength required. so they're heading that way. Just want to check and see. It looks like it's draining this bar in the bottom left. But it seems to last pretty long, too. They're inside here. That's trippy. It goes all warped sometimes. Just scanning the perimeter like any good PI would do. So let's just check our map real quick. So all these are green, which means good. Let's go inside now. Warehouse. Okay, so these markings seem to indicate some type of supplies that we can find.
There's something in the pocket.
Bloodstain note. Lewis, please just give me one more week. I know I owe you, but I'm underwater like everyone else right now. I don't have enough stock to operate the bar smoothly with the fuzz snooping about the port. But don't worry, I've struck a nice deal with the proper people and should have a supply channel soon. A steady supply channel. Just one more week and I'll return everything with double interest. Okay, so Lewis, one of the fisherman guys, this Peter owes him money. New Mind Palace clue, bloodstain note, and torn piece of jacket.
The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far.
It's quite obvious we need to head down, but... I'm assuming locked? Yeah, okay, cool. I wonder how often we should be going into this Mind Palace, because this could get very out of control, I think. So the bar owner is indebted to Lewis. Lewis shot without warning. Lewis may have wanted to kill Albert outright because he was a Throgmorton rather than just drive him off. Fair enough, I guess. Yeah, fair enough. And I guess with him, because of this feud, yeah, there we go. As an Innsmouther, Lewis and his people suffered at the hands of the Throgmortons. That could be a reason to hate him. Yes. And we need to find something to match with this. Okay, so we're going to be using this a lot. I want to say almost all the time, because padlocks and weak planks can be broken with a shot or melee attack. All right.
The door won't budge.
Can I do I have to shoot? Maybe the brick is a melee thing? Aha! Whoa! What the frick is that? What the hell? What is this? Okay. Okay. What the? Not another one, please. Thank you.
One fatal round through the forehead.
Oh, that's him.
No accident. This was deliberate.
Yeah, he was definitely murdered. Straight up.
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
Okay, so we got some Mind Palace action here. I love it. It's called the Mind Palace. Albert was murdered, shot in the head, impaled onto hooks, and then hidden. So this wasn't like an act of, like, reaction. Well, maybe opportunistic? Lewis, the Innsmouther fisherman who probably killed Albert, left the site of the murder. Lewis, the Innsmouther that killed Albert Throgmorton, may be hiding at the bar. All right. So some of these we might have to make some guesses, I suppose. I can track down Albert. There's the bloodstained note. Just give me one more week from the bar owner. Torn piece of the jacket. Found the body. He was fatally shot in the head, impaled. Lewis may be at the bar. Now, if we take this and we say... Do I know what this is? Lewis may be at the bar. Oh, the city port. Do we know where the bar is? Devil Reef Hotel, Oakmont Chronicle, Police Department, Hospital, Library, City Hall. Asylum. Oh, great. That's fantastic. Look, more of whatever this frickin' thing is. Yeah, that's a big no thanks from me. Hear those whispers? Like... That's not the sound that it's asking us to identify. So I gotta go talk to these guys, don't I? Nice. Now, actually, if I go into my case book, maybe hiding in the bar in the Oakmont port. Let's pin that. And then here, this is where we want to be going. So if I pin this, I guess this is just a way to be organized, but that's cool. I like that. I'd rather have the option than not. And we did get all the evidence. Yeah, cool. And we'll probably have to drop down here and go around. Under the Keel Bar. Is this the place?
Oh. Hey. Got a spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days.
Spare bullet?
Oh. Yeah. Hey.
Is this like a,
spare bullet, fella?
bullets or currency kind of thing?
Days.
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
What's going on here?
The port is closed by order of Robert Throgmorton.
Okay.
Back off.
He's that powerful.
Stay alert. Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Ugh, I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Come closer, troubled soul. Let me tell you what your future holds.
You're some kind of, fortune teller?
Yes, my dear, yes. Oh, it's so clear. Your path holds many surprises, newcomer.
What? Do tell.
Really? Like what?
Not so fast, newcomer. I see many things.
Of course.
For a small fee, I'll tell you some of them.
All right, how much? $1?
Your money has no value here, newcomer. After the flood, Oakmonters deal in the practical.
Exactly.
Booze, smokes, and bullets. And I'll make it easier for you. I don't smoke.
Okay, well, then bullets it is.
Let's hear what my future holds.
Good. Let me focus. The sea will be generous in the coming days. Many gifts delivered, and many will regret partaking.
I don't think I follow.
I see old and new. A hard heart against an iron will. Whoever wins, you win too. But you'll only see that from inside a metal cage. And tall pillars circled by the dead. A race from one to the next as time itself laughs.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Totally. Yeah.
I think I'd like my bullet back.
It is what it is. The truth will out soon. Me, I just caught an early glimpse.
Why do I feel like I got scammed?
Well, yeah, we definitely did. We got screwed.
Embrace your fate.
Oh, that's lore now? Mythos. Fortune teller's prophecy. Many gifts delivered. I see old and new. Whoever wins, you win too. You'll only see that from inside a metal cage. Tall pillars circled by the dead. A race from one to the next as time itself laughs. Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
Is this Peter? What's with the creatures?
I've seen some unsettling creatures around. Like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. No one knows what they are, but consider yourself lucky to still be in one piece.
Are they like...
They arrived in the flood.
Oh.
Some say they come from the sea. Others that they are Kay's punishment for us.
And what do you say?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy.
All right.
And if you want to erase the memory, I sell a perfect cure right here. Remember, better to be a coward and live than brave and dead. Unless you're a newcomer.
Well, that's what I am.
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
Is that right? Well?
Robert Throgmorton hired me to investigate his son's disappearance. I found the note about your debt to Lewis near his cold, dead body. It looks like Lewis murdered Robert's kid. You want him to come here and ask instead of me?
What?
Don't.
You heard me.
At best, you're harboring a criminal. At worst, you're an accessory to murder.
What? No. I ain't done nothing.
Tell that to Mr. Throgmorton.
No. Throck. Lewis is upstairs. Here's the key.
Oh, he turned him over pretty quick.
There's your good deed for the day. Bye.
You want a drink?
No, I'm good. Oh, hello. I'm a private investigator, but I'm also a thief. Better do a better job of locking up your valuables. Key for the room on the upper floor of the bar. I kind of like this whole pinning things on the onto the screen.
Get the... Oh.
Who are you? What are you doing?
Oh.
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Yeah, what happened?
Down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Then why are you hiding here? Why do you look like that? Oh, God. Why'd you kill the guy?
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
See, we did see that he, like, spread that paranoia or whatever.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you, why do you look like that?
What kind of... why do you... your face,
What's wrong with your
Oh,
face?
so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you?
I'm just asking.
Want to spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouthers' bodies were blessed by the she. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
That's cool, I get it. The actions that you took look very deliberate.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
Well, I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
So he's got the motive, but he says he's not doing it. I mean, obviously, I doubt he's going to admit it.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation.
Noticed.
The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reef, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did.
Oh,
Honest,
geez.
have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
I don't know.
This is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds.
Oh.
I still have a few bullets on me.
Is he desperate or is he trying to cover things up? No, I'm gonna chill on it.
You think you're the first person to offer me a bribe?
Please, Mr. Reed.
Now, don't try my patience further, Mr. Flynn.
Okay, this is trippy because...
Please, I told you the truth, I swear.
He seems trustworthy. Albert was murdered. Lewis was affected by hysteria. Claims he wasn't himself and was affected by the same mental influence as the other fishermen. Was shot in the head, impaled onto hooks, and then hidden. The murder was deliberate. Whoa, wait a sec. All clues for cases are found. Whoa, okay. So we have to say... Lewis was aware of what he was doing during the fight with Albert Throgmorton. Lewis was mentally affected and couldn't entirely control his actions. Hold on. So, if we look back to everything from the beginning, this is the letter of us coming here, that's fine. We gotta find him. Robert's request, find his son, who went missing in the port after returning from exhibition. The fisherman says Albert was mentally afflicted, acted aggressively before disappearing. Robert arrived to investigate. Yeah. Wilhelm, the fisherman, lives with 3 other people. Told that Barry found Albert, brought him to the house. Albert woke up and started making horrible noises. His hysteria seemed to spread to Will, who began to see visions similar to mine, us. When he recovered, Paul was dead. And there was no trace of Albert or Lewis. A house brawl. They all fought. Tracked down Albert. Bloodstained note. Torn piece of the jacket. Albert was murdered. Found the body of Albert Throgmorton in the basement of the warehouse not far from the fisherman's house. He was fatally shot in the head, impaled on hooks, then hidden. And then we have his testimony. Can either reveal Lewis's whereabouts to Robert Throgmorton or save him and lie to Robert. He admitted he was at the crime scene but can't remember how exactly he killed him. He claims that he was under mental influence just like the other fishermen at the house. Where's the thing with the, Okay, here, hold up. What's this? Anti-Throgmorton sentiment. That's, yeah. Lewis may have wanted Albert dead. Because he was a Throgmorton. Lewis was aware of his actions or mentally affected. I guess we're picking that. Psychic influence or not, Lewis was out to murder Albert Throgmorton. He had motive too, the mutual hatred between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. I must tell Throgmorton the truth. Okay, okay, I see. Or we can switch it, say he was mentally affected, couldn't entirely control his actions. Lewis killed Albert Throgmorton while under some sort of mental influence. He couldn't control his actions and thus can't be blamed for Robert's death. I could try to cover for him, or else Robert Throgmorton will have his head. Okay, so there's like, I see. Certain things are going to lead to this option. Albert Throgmorton was dangerous because he posed a threat to Lewis and his fishermen, which seems to be true, and he spread that hysteria. That, I think, is more likely. But... This will, I wonder, like, okay, why does he have a will when he's going out to sea? Why would he have this? Don't go to the depths. We should have never done that. Everything should have remained in that cave. I fear what might become of me. It's singing in my brain, dancing in my eyelids. So he is afflicted. Something effed up is going on with him. And in the end, it comes. I must warn everybody. I must tell my father he's here. It's like something is super weird. And I think that the way that we have it laid out here is probably correct, albeit strange. Under mental influence. So I guess we're going to have to go back and tell those guys and see what happens. But, okay. I'm going to take a break here. We're about a little over an hour in. And when we return, we will see where this leads because... Well, you know what? Let's just do it right now. Let's just go talk to these guys, shall we? I'm curious. Would that have been too heavy a cliffhanger? Wait, should I talk to him or the cops?
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer.
All right,
and keep
sweet.
your hands where I can see them.
Let's ask him about the creatures.
Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something.
What? I don't have all day.
Some unusual creatures, and they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those unsettling things appeared after the flood. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible. And when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
Well, I found the murderer.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it.
Well, you can see it for yourself.
I've tracked down your son's murderer.
Where? Who is he?
Oh, really? Oh, God. Okay. We say he's dead, which is not true, or we say he's at the bar, which is true. The problem is we're not giving any other context here. But I guess the reason is because if we say that he is at the bar, this guy's gonna go and kill him, I think. And if we lie to cover him up, we save the guy because this guy maybe wouldn't believe what's happening. I don't know. I don't think he did it intentionally. It seems like something happened in the ocean or in the water, and now he's like, he was spreading that hysteria. I'm going with that. I'm gonna cover for the guy, I guess.
I tracked the murderer down, but he was attacked by those things prowling the back alleys. They tore him apart. It was that Innsmouther fisherman, Lewis. He was covered in your son's
Oh, we're even giving him
blood.
the name?
That may have attracted the beasts.
Are you certain the body is
Oh boy.
his?
Beyond any doubt. All that's left of him is a heap of flesh and this scrap of cloth.
Oh, yeah.
That's from his jacket. Just ask his friends.
Alas, this was my revenge to exact, not some wild beast's. Something must be done about those pests. Still, justice has been served. This isn't closure, but at least I know now the story.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Okay, to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't.
Yeah,
But
solves.
I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I see things, visions.
That's gonna
I needed to stop.
put a lot of
I was
confidence in what we
drawn
just told him.
here, or guided, or I don't know. But I believe the source of this madness is here, in Oakmont.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
Well, so... Okay. So he already kind of has an idea that this was causing some issues, and the expedition that his son was on...
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them herself.
Waterlogged ruins.
Oh,
with
that's the
unnatural
professor he
architecture, a sleeping giant.
referenced.
Drowned streets. And a voice calling from the depths.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
You mentioned the flood. You think it's more than just a natural disaster.
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened defied scientific explanation.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
Good questions.
You think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore and is killed.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throckmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work here.
That's fair, at least.
I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.
Whoa. A knowledge point, the lost expedition, the key to the headquarters. Frosty welcome case complete. Okay. Gave me the key to the expedition's headquarters in the northern cover side at the crossroad of Asher Road and Hubert Avenue. Funded an expedition to discover the origin of the mass hysteria. The expedition was to explore the seabed near Oakmont. Contact with the expedition was soon lost. Albert Throgmorton was the only known survivor. He was subsequently murdered. I was hired to find any other expedition members, dead or alive. Throgmorton will be waiting for my report in his manor in the southern Old Grove. Now, there was also... We haven't even looked at this. Okay, that is a knowledge point. There's combat, there's mine stuff. Now, we can just pick up any one of these. Carry up to 25 pieces of crafting material. Crafting. Ammunition. Absolute clarity. Earn more experience and stay sane for slightly longer. Well, I think gaining experience is always good to get early. There's vigor. So carrying more stuff. When close to death, slowly regenerate a limited amount of health for one last fighting chance. And then there's combat proficiencies. I'm going to go with this for sure. More experience. All right. New case, lost at sea. Got it. Let's take a break here, guys. It's really interesting how we don't get like a confirmation if we were right or not. We have to make our own decisions. I imagine there's going to be some branching storylines here, but yeah, really cool the way we investigate this and come to those conclusions. I feel pretty confident with the way we did it. It's too bad we couldn't say like, yeah, this is the guy that did it, but it's not his fault, and kind of explain it that way. But I guess maybe we just have to understand that this guy wouldn't take that for an answer kind of thing. Anyways, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. If you wouldn't mind, because it's the first of a series, to hit the like button. It helps me a lot. And share it with your friends. That would be fantastic. Thanks for watching the video, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.